Look at you, Dark Chocolate.
I'm sorry, what?
Welcome to Close Enough Podcast. This is Mike.
I'm not doing that.
Welcome to Close Enough Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Jay. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah, it's been up for not very long.
This is a weird early morning show. So I see, predictably, you have a drink. It's a little early for drinking, don't you think?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, we'll take it. What do you got for us?
This week I have the Revolver. As you know, I'm kind of partial to revolvers.
Not really sure why, but...
Yeah, I like them. The Revolver was actually introduced by a San Francisco bartender named John Santer in the early 2000s. It uses rye-heavy bullet bourbon. Haha. Tink, tink. See what they did there?
I get it.
Just want to make sure you're on board there.
It ain't making me laugh, but I get it.
Okay. And splashed coffee liqueur, finished with a few dashes of orange bitters and orange peel for garnish. If you want the actual recipe, you're looking at about 2 ounces of bullet bourbon, ½ ounce of coffee liqueur, 2 dashes of orange bitters, and the orange peel for garnish. Orange kind of breaks away from the heaviness, the darker side of the drink.
That sounds good, but I'm going to stick with my orange juice.
So, Jay, tell me, what are you thinking, though?
Well, a lot of things have happened, but just this past week, King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz of Saudi Arabia passed away at 90 years old.
I did briefly hear something about this.
Yeah, a world leader passed, kind of big news. It's a big deal. He passes the mantle to his 79-year-old half-brother, Salman bin Abdulaziz as Saya. It doesn't fucking matter.
Can I ask a question really
You can
quickly?
ask a question, yes.
You said this guy died at 90,
Mm-hmm.
and he passed it on to somebody who's 79?
Mm-hmm. That's how monarchies work.
So this guy's going to be in charge for 5 years, 10 years if he's lucky?
Well, the other guy lived to 90, so that's 11 years.
Assuming this guy's going to live another 11 years.
Well, he's a king. He doesn't do a whole lot, so yeah, he'll probably live that long.
You would just think that he would pass it on to somebody a little younger in the family.
Well, of course, that would make sense, but that's not how things are done in a monarchy.
All right. Continue. Sorry.
Oh.
That was just bothering me.
That's fine. This guy's taken over control of Saudi Arabia. He comes out and he says, "We will continue adhering to the correct policies which Saudi Arabia has followed since its establishment. We will never deviate from our constitution." So, he says this right after his brother-in-law is buried in an unmarked shallow grave in the desert, as is their custom. So let's take a look at those policies, shall we? Change things up here a little bit. It's quiz time.
That's a little early for quiz time.
This isn't the main quiz. There'll be a quiz later. This one, no points in this one. I want to throw a couple things at you and see, how you know. So you're familiar with Saudi Arabia, yes?
It's a country.
It is a country. It is our largest ally in the Arab world.
Yeah, the Middle East. I'm aware of this.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Islamic State, ISIS, ISIL, Daesh, whatever you want to call them?
Just briefly.
You know of them.
Yes, I know.
Okay. Well, I'm going to list off a couple of crimes here and a couple of punishments. And all you have to do is tell me whether the punishment is a Saudi Arabian punishment or an ISIS punishment. Remember, no points in this one. Just
for the hell of it.
I just want to illustrate some things here. So we're going to start out with a pretty simple one here. We'll go with crime is murder, and the punishment is death. Is that Saudi Arabia or ISIS?
Saudi Arabia.
It's actually both.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go treason. Crime of treason, punishment death.
Saudi Arabia.
Both, actually.
Okay.
All right, well, stealing. We'll go with stealing. That's a pretty minor crime. Hand amputation.
I'm going to say both.
That's both, yes.
Okay.
Actually, it's both. Banditry, which I guess is more of an organized theft or a higher theft. Their crime is hand and foot amputation.
Is this both?
Oh, it's both, yes, absolutely.
I think I'm seeing a pattern here.
Banditry, where murder is involved. The punishment rather, is crucifixion.
Both?
No, that's actually just ISIS. Saudi Arabia just mandates death. It doesn't particularly care how.
Okay.
Let's see. Adultery. Death by stoning.
That sounds fun. Oh, death
No, where they
by
throw rocks at you until you die.
Oh, shit. Saudi Arabia.
It's both, actually. Homosexuality. The crime is homosexuality, and the punishment is death.
Both?
That's both, yes. And blasphemy. Which victimless crime, but blasphemy. Punishment is death.
I love blasphemy.
I do as well. The punishment is death. ISIS or Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia.
Both, actually.
Both.
Now, remember, one of these people is our ally.
Interesting.
And just to go back here... we will continue adhering to the correct policies which Saudi Arabia has followed since its establishment.
So the difference being ISIS is killing outside of their country?
I haven't figured out the difference yet, other than one of them has a bunch of oil and is willing to share it with us.
Well, they're not trying to kill us, are they?
They did fund the Pakistani terrorists who flew airplanes into our buildings 10 years ago.
Oh, well...
Yeah, but they were in cool with Bush, so it was all right.
Oh, well, I don't trust anything that happened with Bush.
Blasphemy, of course, is punishable by death in Saudi Arabia. Arif Badawi, have you heard of him?
No.
He was a Saudi blogger who, on his blog, said that maybe we should look at the interpretations of Islam. He was tried and sentenced. He was actually originally tried as an apostate, which punishment for apostasy is, any guesses?
Death?
Oh, very good. He's
Okay.
catching on. He was, I guess, not found guilty of apostasy, but he was sentenced to 1,000 lashes, 10 years in prison, and a fine equivalent to 266,000 American dollars. His lawyer was sentenced to 15 years for insulting Islam. On Friday, he was given 50 lashings, the first of 20 floggings, once a week.
Jesus.
Yes. Yes, I've seen pictures. They fucked this guy up.
And he's gonna do it again next week?
Well, here's the thing. The lashing session was pretty tough, and it took a toll on him. Medical examination has confirmed he's not fit to be flogged again, so they're going to let him heal before they hit him again. So, what do you know? I guess there are moderate Muslims.
See, all I can think of now is that part in Princess Bride, where they're talking about they want everybody to be healthy before they execute them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, there's a quote here from BBC. It says, the Saudis know how the media cycle works and how short people's attention spans are. They may just ride out the international attention, and once the outcry subsides, there's no telling what they'll do. This guy's going to get all 1,000 of his lashes. And if it kills him, then it kills him.
How long is this going to take?
Well, as long as it takes. I mean, he's going to be in jail for 10 years for insulting Islam. He's not going anywhere. They'll wait till he gets healed, and they'll whip him again.
So do you think if they don't finish the floggings by the 10 years, some reason or another, like with the, him not being healed in between or whatever, they'll keep him in jail longer just to be able to do that?
I'm not really sure. I imagine he'll probably die before then. Now, remember, his crime is insulting Islam. I did that last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah.
Technically, this kind of thing that we're doing right now, where we're talking derisively or critically about a religion or the state, would be punished with a 10-year prison sentence, 1,000 lashings, and $1 million of whatever silly currency they have, which 266,000 American dollars.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that kind of money.
That's your concern.
No.
10 years in prison, 1,000 lashes, and a bunch of cash. I don't have any cash.
Yeah, that was not thought through before I opened my mouth.
That's okay. We're starting to get used to that by now. So, just a friendly reminder that these are our allies.
This week's Close Enough podcast is brought to you by A Clockwork Garage. Clocks, keychains, and more made from recycled auto parts. Visit aclockworkgarage.com.
That's going to bring us along to our movie review. Now, I just want to go ahead and say something before we get started here. I've had a couple complaints about this, that we are spoiling movies.
You had complaints?
I did.
From
It's nice that somebody's contacting us.
That's okay. Wait, so they're contacting us to tell us we're spoiling movies, which means they're listening.
Yeah.
But they're not going to watch the movie so they can listen with us and join in later.
That's my point. I mean, we do let you know what movies we're watching, so go ahead and watch them first. So, we're about to launch into the movie Troll Hunter. If you haven't watched Troll Hunter yet, we're going to spoil the shit out of it. So, stop listening now, go watch Troll Hunter, and come back and listen to the rest of the podcast. Now you've been warned, shut up. This week, we watched Troll Hunter. Troll Hunter follows 3 film students as they head out to investigate a series of bear shootings. They meet with some hunters who all claim they didn't shoot the bear, point out that they believe it was a poacher. They find the poacher and thinking, oh, this will be a great story, try to interview him. But they find out that he is not, in fact, a poacher at all. He is a troll hunter who works for the government.
A secret society part of the government.
Not really a secret society, but...
Well, a secret branch. There. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go out and say that I liked Troll Hunter. I liked Troll Hunter probably more than I should have. I watched it 3 times, actually, and it's not just because I was reviewing it. I watched it again just because I liked it.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty good. What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I didn't watch it 3 times. I watched it once, and now I'm wishing I'd watched it again so I'd be a little more refreshed since it's been almost a week since I've seen it. There's a lot of that documentary-style filming that's been going out lately. I've been seeing so many movies, and half the time I'm like, it's all right, and then I'm like, no, this is really obnoxious, or I get frustrated with it, or something like it's good, and then I'm like, okay, this is fucking stupid at the end. This is one of the very few I was able to watch and sit through the whole thing and be like, they did a good job.
Yeah, this was another, Blair Witch inspired Cloverfield found footage movie, but it wasn't obnoxious like some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that I didn't like Cloverfield, but sometimes a found footage movie will just annoy the shit out of you.
Well, sometimes I feel like half the movie is how much can we shake the damn camera. Luckily, this one wasn't like that.
But at the same time, it wasn't overly perfect like The Sacrament was.
Okay, yeah.
With its near-perfect filmography. So I think they actually were able to play the found footage genre right down the middle.
So what did you think when they first... They're first out traveling with this guy? That's what, first of all, hang on, all right, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I love the fact that he's basically like, all right, none of you are Christians, right? Trolls can smell Christians.
I enjoyed that a great deal.
That was hilarious. I was dying.
Like, that would be on my first question to ask anybody I'm working with. None of you believe in God or Jesus, right?
Yeah. that was
Why, I'm flipping burgers. What the hell do I need?
Everybody, of course, says no, and of course, you find out one of them, spoilers, that the one guy is a Christian. Freaks the fuck out when they end up in the troll cave. But I
love his response. Don't sweat.
Don't sweat. But the very first time that they go out there and they see the first troll that they see, if you were in their position, how would you have reacted?
Well, that's hard to say. That's real hard to say. I did enjoy the fact that they spent the whole time making fun of him. Oh, you seriously believe that trolls exist? Bam. Evidence. Okay. Trolls exist.
I need some new pants.
Pretty much, yeah. I think they handled it fairly well.
Yeah.
But the skepticism that's very, very prevalent in the Scandinavian world of, of course we don't believe in God or Jesus. Are you kidding? Like, what kind of stupid question is that? And then as they're sitting out there, they're like, oh, well, they're making fun of us. This is a joke. It couldn't be. This is some sort of prank. And then they saw it, and, well, they're presented with the evidence right in front of them, and they're just like, well, okay, that's a troll.
Like, well, that's legends that they grew up with, I guess you could say.
Oh, very much. A lot of this movie draws very heavily from Scandinavian and specifically Norwegian legends of trolls. And the director, in an interview, said that he loves monster movies. But every monster movie's been played out, but there hasn't really been anything with trolls. So he wanted to make that movie. I think he did a damn good job.
He did. I love the fact, too, that they actually went into, like, oh, there's different species and what. It wasn't just, oh, all trolls look the same, because any other movie that's ever talked about trolls, or you see one, or, they're, like, one movie, there are a bunch of tiny little imp-looking things, and another movie, there's, like, the one under the bridge, or, but that's a troll, and that's all you see. This one actually had the different types, and I loved that.
In Norwegian folklore, troll isn't a specific creature. It's a broad category of creatures. Originally they had like a hierarchy of things out there. You had your gods, Loki and Thor and Tyr and all of those, and they were to be worshipped. And then there were the creatures, and those were the trolls, and they were to be respected and avoided. So trolls covered a lot of categories, from the Jotun, or the giants, all the way down to the Nissen and things that lived in your barn. So, not Nissen, Nissa.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, Stina's going to give me crap for mispronouncing that. Yeah, I mean, it covers a lot of things, and it is a part of deep-rooted Norwegian folklore.
One of my favorite encounters had to be the bridge troll.
The one that exploded?
Yeah.
I love it when he goes up there in his little armored suit.
Then throws his ass down.
Picks him up, takes a bite out of him, and goes, that sucks, clanks him off the bridge.
That was great.
I'm looking at him thinking like, oh, good, he's dead. That's how these guys get fucked up. He's dead now, and now they have to have the trolls there.
That would have made it a really short movie, though.
That is the one problem with found footage films. They can't end well.
True.
Because otherwise it'd be like, hey, check out this footage we have. Instead, in this case, it's like, oh, we found this in an abandoned car, I think was how they phrased it. They found the tapes in an abandoned car.
Yeah, I think that was it. Okay, I already mentioned it once. They're in the caves.
Mm-hmm.
The troll caves, they start coming in. I don't know what it was. All I could think of was like when you're in video games and you get cornered and you're trying to get around the guys. I don't know, like Far Cry 3.
Every stealth game where you're sitting in the corner, you're just like, all right.
How do I get out of this? Yes. Yeah, that was the whole time I was watching that scene. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know. What was one of your favorite encounters in the movie?
I had to say I liked the big one at the end when they started playing the Christian music through the loudspeaker.
Oh, yeah.
To lure him away.
That was good.
Yeah, there were a lot of good encounters in the film. But some of my favorite part of it, and this is sort of the Norwegian wit, and I've seen a lot of Scandinavian films now, a handful of them, and I've got to say, almost across the board, I like them more than American films, because they just have a dry humor to them, where it's funny, but it's not slapstick, it's not in your face. Like, I like it after he kills the troll, they go to the diner, and he's filling out paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
His slain troll form. Actually, somebody pointed this out to me. I wish I could take credit for it. The beginning of the movie, when I said they found the tapes in the car, said they found the tapes in 2008. The form that he's filling out is dated 2009.
Was it really?
Yeah. Whoops.
No, I definitely didn't notice that.
That's a bit of a whoops. But no, I enjoy the fact that it's like, yeah, fine, you can film this because you're a true Norwegian hero. No, I'm not. There's nothing heroic about what I do. This job sucks. I don't get overtime pay. I don't get vacation. No nuisance pay. Shitty hours. I love the fact that he's not some badass monster hunter. He's some guy doing his fucking job. And I really enjoyed just how everything was low-key in the film. He'd been hunting trolls so long that it's just routine to him.
How do you get into that field? I mean, assuming that that's a real position to have, how do they just pick somebody out of you go into the government lineup and they're like, we got a project for you, come with us.
It's one of it's like a stupid human trick. How do you figure out you can squirt milk out of your tear duct?
Never tried.
That's the thing. How do people find out they can do this shit? It's like you said, how do they pick a guy to hunt trolls? No. What'd you think of the casting in this film?
I had absolutely no idea who anybody was. They really played off their student characters very well, and the troll hunter himself, I can't remember his name, his character's name.
Hans. Otto Jespersen, I think his name was.
He was great.
He's actually a big name comedian in Norway.
Oh, really?
Hosts, as near as I can figure, he hosts a show similar to Bill Maher's Real Time.
Okay.
Like a sort of a political, not
satire,
positive on that, but yeah, he's an amusing character. A lot of the people in the movie, the troll hunter, the TSS agent who keeps showing up in the Honda, and the bureaucrat, he's a big comedian in Norway, and the guy that worked at the power station is as well, was a cameo of some Norwegian comedian. So this was, I guess, considered to them a comedy, and that's what I'm saying. Films like this are very low key. And I particularly enjoy that about this and almost all Scandinavian films. Just they're funny, but they're not.
Kind of got that foreign dark humor to it, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I thought the casting was pretty good, though, from especially, like I said, not knowing anybody. Sometimes that makes a movie better.
Oh, it's like when we were watching Nights of Bad Aston, and I didn't know any of these people. I'm like, oh, yay! All unknowns.
Yeah.
So, these guys are all actors over there, but to us they're unknowns. And
yeah, that happens a lot too when you get a foreign, even in American movies, when you get foreign and there's somebody that's famous elsewhere, but we have no idea who they are.
Like Jet Li in Lethal Weapon 4.
Was that his first American appearance?
He didn't speak English when he did that film.
Oh yeah,
you showed up, you're like, who the hell's this little guy?
Yeah, and he's a badass.
Meanwhile, in China,
Yeah. So the ending, how did you feel about it?
To me, that's where the movie fell down, and it succumbed to the same thing that every found footage film, because it has to end abruptly and with no closing context, and I don't quite get it. Do they get hit by that truck? Do they drop the camera on the side of the road? Do they get arrested? Do they get disappeared? I don't know. Bureaucrats show up and they've got all their tapes. It's like run, and then it's over.
Yeah, something had to happen, first of all, to have the tapes found in this car or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So somewhere in there, something else happened that we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
My personal opinion was that basically the bureaucrats took them down, so to speak, because they knew too much.
I like the term disappeared them.
Sure. Disappeared them. I mean, now, whether or not they were still alive after is, opinionated.
But if the bureaucracy, if the TSS, Troll Security Service, if they ended up with the tapes, how did they end up in an abandoned car?
That's what I'm saying. Something had to happen. I mean, it could have been one of the bureaucrats got killed, and that was his car.
I think Hans would be the only character who would have access to the tapes and the desire to get them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, they never tell us. This is one of those things you don't ever find out.
So what are you gonna give this one this week?
Well, I'm gonna say that the ending was the only part of it I didn't like.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm gonna go out and say that this is my favorite film we've reviewed so far.
Really?
Yeah, without a doubt. So 9.
Damn.
Yeah, I liked
9 from Jay?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive.
If you haven't already watched it, why the fuck did you listen to this? Go watch it now.
I agree. It was definitely a good movie. I don't know if it was my favorite out of everything we've reviewed, but it was definitely probably top 2 or 3 that we've watched. I'm going to go with an 8.
An 8?
Give it a nice solid 8.
All right. Now, one last thing before we close. Rights have already been bought to make an American version of this film.
Oh, seriously?
Seriously.
How are you going to do that?
Why? Why would you?
Well, I mean, America's got to put their foot into everything. So I can see that, but this is all news to me. You haven't said this to me before. I didn't know this.
Yeah. Well, you at this point know about as much as I do, so.
But anytime that they grab a foreign film, there's been very, very few, let me rephrase that, foreign films that I've seen America redo that I actually thought were worth a damn compared to the original. What's the one with the little girl that's the vampire? Yeah, let the right one in.
It's on my queue. I haven't seen it.
We watched the original and the American. That's one of the only ones I've ever seen that I actually liked both. As far as especially a lot of the Japanese films that they recreate over here.
Old Boy.
Well,
have you seen the new one?
Yes.
I haven't seen the new one.
I liked it.
I don't want to watch it.
I liked it. But Old Boy,
I think
the
Spike
original.
Lee's only made one good movie out of 50, and I liked Old Boy. So why would I want to see the remake?
I loved the original. Old Boy was fantastic.
Oh, it was good.
This one was really good. It was well done, but it's still not as good as the original was. Especially with the ending, it was not as twisted.
Why would they do that?
I mean, it was
That's
still
the point of the movie.
It still had aspects that.
So did they get rid of the?
I'm not going to spoil any more for you.
We're
not reviewing that movie this week.
Maybe we'll do it in the future.
But it was still a good movie. It was done well, and damn it, what's his name? I like him. He's a good actor. Josh Brolin. Yeah, thank you. I just said that really loudly. Josh Brolin did a really good job. I've got to be honest. No, he did a really good job with the character. There's been a good handful of movies, though, like, get back to the topic, that they keep redoing, and a lot of them are just nowhere near as good. 13 Sins suck compared to the original, I think it was a Thai movie, and I can't remember the name of the movie off the top of my head. That was fantastic.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to get your input on that.
That scares
I didn't want
me.
it to be outside of the review. I didn't want that to affect it.
It scares me.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it's a 50-50 shot in this one. I don't think that they're going to be able to touch the original, first of all, because it's American, so it's not Scandinavian, and that's where
Bigfoot?
This whole thing comes from.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to lose the dry humor as well.
Yeah. They're going to try to make American humor in there, I'm sure. Just the fact that, I mean, the whole aspect of trolls is a Scandinavian thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to lose a lot of the effect that this had.
Okay. Well, that was our review of Troll Hunter. We're going to have to pick a movie for next week, and we're going to go a little different on this one. Since next week is going to be the big game, the Stupor Bowl, we compiled a list of football movies and threw them into our trash can this week, and we're going to go ahead and draw one of those at random to fit the theme. So let's see what we have in here. Shaolin Soccer.
What the fuck? Shaolin Soccer?
That's football, huh?
It is.
Yeah, it's football.
I don't think it's the type of football we're talking about.
Are you overriding me on this one?
Have you seen Shaolin Soccer?
Yes, I have.
I don't know if I could sit down and watch it again.
That's why I put it in here. Fine. Fine, we'll get you some pussy American football shit. You have your pads. What do we have here? Necessary Roughness.
I like some Necessary Roughness. How about you, bitch?
I like Shaolin Soccer. So head on over to Netflix, pull up Necessary Roughness, give it a watch, and join us here next week where we'll be spoiling the hell out of it. So watch it beforehand.
I got a prediction.
What's that?
Somebody sucks and then they get better.
Somebody will probably die in a car accident.
You think so?
Yes.
Or a drug
be
overdose?
paralyzed. What did you say?
I said, or a drug overdose. Or maybe somebody might get a few concussions.
Oh, I'm sure.
Is that possible?
It is possible and probable. So,
Shit.
you know it's coming.
Yeah, I know.
And I fixed this, because apparently last week was easy, and the week before was easy.
Every week's been easy.
Every week's been easy.
Not easy, but easy enough to get more than like one or two.
Let's see how you do this week.
I have about the confidence of a quadriplegic learning how to swim.
A one-legged man in an asking contest.
Ah, you're fucked.
This week's quiz is going to be all about trolls. I'm calling it The Box Trolls.
But wasn't that kids movie that came out recently?
No. Fine. This week's quiz is going to be called A Quiz About Trolls. That Mike's not going to fucking know.
How original.
It's very original.
Sounds like every other quiz title.
Deal with it. Are you ready?
Never.
Number 1. Troll dolls, originally known as dam dolls, originated in Gjol, Denmark. In what year?
1492?
Yeah, 1959.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, apparently a guy wanted to get his daughter a...
Oh,
present.
those ones with the fluffy hair.
Yeah, the ones with the fucking hair.
Oh, dude, I thought you were talking about something totally different.
No, troll
Well,
dolls.
shit, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, it's too late.
Fuck you.
No. Yeah, it started out originally, it was a farmer who couldn't afford a present for his daughter. So he carved one out of wood just based on his imagination, and everybody in the town thought it was fucking awesome and wanted one. And it turned out to be the second most popular toy from Denmark.
What's the first?
Legos. Because they're fucking Legos. Number 2. The Swedish reality show CloseEnoughRadio, that's Swedish for Troll Hunter, by the way, is hosted by Robert Aschberg. What do they hunt?
Trolls?
Gonna need a better answer than that.
Ugly trolls?
The answer we were looking for is internet bullies. They hunt internet bullies. Number 3. Yes, they call them trolls.
That hurts.
Yeah. Come on, that was good. Number 3. In the monumentally bad film Troll 2, what eating disorder did the trolls have?
I don't have a damn clue. They couldn't eat fish. They were anorexic.
No,
They were bipolar.
that's not an eating disorder, and you've already answered incorrectly 3 times.
Wait. Schizophrenic?
That is also not an eating disorder.
Did
If you
they
got
have,
any other
did they
bad
have
answers,
erectile dysfunction?
That's kind of an eating disorder. No, they were vegetarians.
God, that's even worse than anything I said.
I know. Moving on. Number 4. What college did Tomas and his crew attend in the movie Troll Hunter?
Was from college.
That is correct.
Sweet.
I'm fucking with you. It's not.
Damn
It was Volda College.
You're
Volda
college.
Number 5. The popular children's comic, The Momentrolls, originated in 1945. In what country?
The what trolls?
The Momentrolls.
Well, I'm going to assume it's a Scandinavian thing.
Narrows it down some. So you got like a 1 in 6 shot at this.
Finland.
That is actually correct. Finland.
Sweet. I got something right.
You did get one right. In the film Troll Hunter, When Tomas asked what to do if challenged to an eating contest, he was referring to the Norwegian fairy tale Eskaleden som kapat med trollet. How did the boy win the eating contest? Nah, I'm fucking with you. This is multiple choice. A. He tricked the troll into eating rocks until he was too heavy to chase him. B. He tricked the troll into eating his own tail. C. He tricked the troll into cutting open his own stomach so that he could eat more. Or D. He kept eating until the sun came up and the troll turned to stone.
I like C. That's my favorite answer out of those. But I'm going to say D is the correct answer.
Kept eating until the sun came up?
Yes.
You are wrong. It was C.
Damn it, really?
Yep. He tricked the troll into cutting open his own stomach so that he could eat more.
That was my favorite answer.
That it didn't even hurt that much. Number 7. In the movie Troll Hunter, what kind of vehicle did the Troll Hunter drive?
Oh, shit. I can picture it. Wasn't it a Mercedes? Jeep?
Stop shotgunning answers at me. Pick one and stick with it.
Mercedes.
No, it is a Land Rover Defender.
Okay. Nope. Never mind.
Number 8. How many heads does a tusslad have?
3. Tussle. Have.
A tusslad has 1 head. Hans points out the rest of them aren't actually heads. They're just growths. But it can have up to 9.
Oh, yeah. I remember that now. This is really bad.
Yeah, I told you I was going to fix this one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9. Charlie Sheen went on a cocaine-fueled rant claiming that trolls invented what?
Winning?
Telephones.
Seriously?
Yep.
That's awesome. I want to hear this rant.
Oh, you will. Trolls invented telephones.
That's awesome.
And number 10. The idea that trolls live under bridges draws its origin from what popular fairy tale?
Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail.
No, it was 3 Billy Goats Grimm.
No idea.
It's one of the Grimm's fairy tales. It was an homage to it in the movie when they were going after the troll underneath the bridge. They brought the 3 goats and put them on top.
Yeah. I kind of figured that's what you're referring to, but no, I've never heard that tale.
Oh. Yeah, basically it's, I forget how the third one gets across, but the first 2 get across by saying there's a fatter goat coming up behind me, you should eat him instead. Well, that's 10 questions about trolls that Mike's not going to know, and you got one of them.
Yeah, I did.
You guessed.
Yeah.
That was the Finland one, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 1 out of 10. Now we're looking at numbers like I like again.
That's fine. Don't worry. Next week's about football.
Yeah, you can do easy questions about football. I'm not going to get them.
Yeah, I don't even watch football, but pretty much everybody I work with are football fanatics, so I'm going to have some good questions for you.
All right.
And I know not to ask anything about the Patriots.
Just because they're my home team. It's not like I follow them.
Doesn't matter.
So we know that Mike doesn't know anything about trolls, but can name at least one Scandinavian country.
I can name more than one.
All right, for a bonus point, go. Name them all.
I don't know all of them.
Name 5 of them.
Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Germany.
Nope, you lose. Thanks for playing. Tell me some things you do know.
Some things I do know. All right, well, there's been a few things I've found out this week. Some happy, some sad, some exciting, some obnoxious.
What's happened?
Well, one of my first stories, this one I actually heard a little bit ago, and I held on to it because I just think it's fantastic.
All right.
Young girl turning 21. Her name is Rachel Hobbs. Doesn't sound familiar, right?
No.
Jonathan's
big sister.
Goes with her family and grandmother included. Everybody, they go out to eat in the UK at this one restaurant that she wanted to go to. Apparently, she starts bitching at the waitress so bad that the waitress outs her as a famous porn star who's named Lacey Lorenzo to her entire family and almost everybody in the restaurant. Her family did not know that she's a porn star.
I have to ask, how did the waitress know?
That was my first question, too. I never got an answer.
What, did she name drop to get a table?
Maybe, I don't know. But apparently the waitress noticed her, or recognized her as some sort of famous English UK porn star. Lacey Lorenzo is her name, or her on-film name.
Oh, that's
and
brilliant.
Outed her to her entire family while she was getting bitched out by this girl.
That is brilliant.
I thought that was amazing. I died. Apparently it got so bad that they called the cops because Lacey Lorenzo or Rachel Hobbs got so furious by being outed in front of her family. They thought she was going to hurt the waitress.
I like it.
I did too. I couldn't help it. I had to, once I heard that story, I had to hold on to that, even though I knew it was going to be a while. All right, leads me to my next one. A Frenchman creates Valentine's Day fart pill. There is a famous scientist, Christian Poincheville. I don't know, he's French.
Fucking Frenchies.
He's 65 years old, and he has now created an array of scented flatulent pills, and specifically came up with a ginger floral flatulent pill for this year's Valentine's Day. So that way, if you're out with your loved one, you pop one of these pills in and you go eat something that's not settling with you. Hopefully it won't smell like ass. It'll smell somewhat pleasant.
Are you trying to mix pleasure and flatulence into a word?
No.
It's pleasatulence.
Hopefully your flatulence will come out smelling somewhat pleasant, according to what these pills are supposed to do. That one doesn't smell so good.
They're selling very well, aren't they?
I haven't found records of sales, but it does make me want to try them. Especially after a long night of drinking beers. That next day at work, everybody's going to be standing in the kitchen going, what the hell is that?
Do you smell roses? No.
Roses? What? No.
Ginger? Somebody leave the ginger out? That's terrible.
Who spent enough time to figure out how to make a fragrant pill to get through your gastric system in order to make your farts smell better?
Meanwhile, Ebola is still raging out of control.
Next story I have here is a 42-year-old man will plead guilty to your stupid charges if you give the cats he killed the respect they deserve. Apparently, this man killed his elderly mother and the 2 cats, and will plead guilty and take his whole punishment. But the cats have to be named on the indictment. That's his only terms and conditions.
What's he getting at? I mean, is he trying to set a precedent? Or is he just a psychopath?
I think he actually feels bad about killing the cats, but not the mom. Is where the way that the story came across to me. So he's now killed his mother and the 2 cats, and the only thing he really cares about is that the cats get named on his indictment. I mean, it's sad for the cat, but by the way, if you're gonna prove me guilty, you better get me for the 2 cats too. I mean, I don't know. I thought that was a strange one. I'm
confused by it.
I heard that earlier this week, and I really didn't know what to say. But good for him. At least he cares about the cats.
He probably would have cared more about him if he didn't kill him.
Oh.
I think that shows a little bit more caring.
Yeah, true, but a little late for that. Alright, next one I've got here. Have you heard about this company that's Ship Your Enemies Glitter?
I have heard about that, yes.
It's apparently, $10-20, and you send this guy in Australia the money, and he'll ship an envelope full of glitter with a mini explosive in it. Oh. So when they open the envelope, it just blows up on them and everything.
Is it an explosive, or is it like a spring-loaded?
It's
because I don't think you can ship explosives.
No, it's not an explosive, but I couldn't think of the right word. Sorry. Yeah, it might have been a spring-loaded or
just a card packed full of glitter. So when you pull it out, it goes.
Yeah, it's apparently the envelope blows up glitter everywhere.
Oh, that's awful. This is
the
most evil thing I can imagine.
This is not actually the story, but apparently a lady was quitting her job and went in and glitter bombed her boss's office. Oh. So, got fired right there and is actually in jail now for vandalizing.
Oh. I did once fill a friend of mine's AC vents with glitter.
Did you seriously?
Turned the AC on high and left the car off.
Oh, that's horrible.
It might be the meanest thing I've ever done to somebody.
That's horrible. Anyways, back to the story. The guy that started the company ran it for about 3 weeks and said, I'm done with this. I don't want it anymore. And has now sold the company, the entire website, everything, for $85,000.
Wow. 85 grand?
He got 85 grand for a Ship Your Enemies Glitter website.
Probably got tired of having the glitter all over his fucking house.
Hell, who wouldn't? I mean, as we've said before, it is the herpes of
it's crafting herpes.
Yep. And it brings me to my last story here we've got is, this is great. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Department ordered a new rug, which in the seal is supposed to have "In God We Trust." It showed up with a little bit of a typo and said, "In Dog We Trust."
I heard about this, yes.
I thought that was pretty funny. But what got me with this story is apparently they auctioned off the rug for $9,650.
I was considering writing them a letter asking them for it, but I don't have that kind of change.
Yeah, that's insane.
I think
for a
an In
rug.
Dog We Trust rug would look real good right here in the studio.
I agree.
It's right there.
Right. I can just put the word dog right in between my feet. It would be
That's
perfect.
Right. We could be dyslexic atheists. We don't believe in dog.
Now, I was slightly upset when I heard that the rug sold for that much, because I'm like, what the fuck do they need that? That is a rather large sum of money, especially going to the police department. Continuing to read, though, found out that the profits went to a local animal shelter, or a rescue shelter, I should say.
Okay, that's noble.
Made me a little happier about that, yeah.
Looks like Dog was really looking out for him.
That's a weird way to end it.
The Close Enough Radio podcast is brought to you by A Clockwork Garage. Visit www.aclockworkgarage.com. Our audio technician is Jasmine the Destroyer Hollister. We want to hear from you. Send your questions, comments, concerns, outright complaints, and music and movie suggestions to closeenoughradio@gmail.com or visit our Facebook fan page, Close Enough Radio. And now we go to Mike for this week's featured local band.
Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.
This week's band is not Florida local, but still a smaller label band off Dr. Gaunt Records.
It counts.
Exactly. They're from Wilmington, North Carolina, with their surf and stomp combos. So all you bras and bunnies, grab your boards, head over to the beach, and turn up your radios for Seagate Stomp by The Carvers.